I'm Ann Emery. You're watching DataViz on the Go, the series where you learn DataViz time savers inside everyday software like Excel. As you might know from the previous video, I'm in New Orleans. I'm teaching a workshop tomorrow for peak grant making, and I still have a little bit of time and mental energy left before I head to dinner, so let's make another YouTube video in response to Chelsea Reuter's question. So in the previous video, I talked to you about what helper cells are with 3 examples, and in this video, I'm going to teach you about resorting months in pivot tables. It sounds like Chelsea was getting the months alphabetically, which would be really strange. You wouldn't want months alphabetical. You'd want them January, February, March in the regular old sequence. So I'm going to show you how to resort this with a data set with pretend dates and months that I made. And then I'm going to show you how to do some resorting with other types of survey questions or survey responses that you would also not want to go alphabetical. You'd maybe want them to go in this particular order, okay? Not alphabetized. So stay tuned for both of these examples, and it's going to be the same solution though for both of them. Okay, so for this first one, I'm pretending we have dates, made up values, and then I tried recoding the dates different ways. I tried turning it into the month number, the month abbreviated, the month full. Behind the scenes, if you're curious, this is just the month formula, turns the full date into a month, a number. I wanted to see what the pivot table would do with the numbers. And then I also did abbreviated months with a lookup table over here. You could also recode that with a nested if you wanted to. And then I turned this into full months, again with a lookup table. Again, you could do that with a nested if you want. Okay. Long story short, I wanted to see what pivot tables would do in all these different scenarios. So let's add a pivot table and we'll drag and drop. Let's say we want to tally up the pretend values. We want to sum them up. And I'm going to put date, that, original first column over here. And by default, newer versions of Excel take all the dates, January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd, and by default, they already do condense them into months. You can open the toggles and you can see the exact values. This unbolded one, that's the original value that I have in my data set, but they're already, rolled up, condensed up for us. Older versions of Excel, I want to say it was like 2019 and previously, would just show you all the values without that roll-up feature. So I like having this option. I think it's actually really nice by default. And then by default, Excel is also really smart and it doesn't alphabetize the months. It puts them in the correct Jan, Feb, Mar order. So far so good. They are correct. I also, let's see, do you see how it Excel adds all this by default, which is pretty cool? Let's say you want to ignore the individual dates. Let's drag this out and just look at months. Nice and helpful. And look, by default, they're still in the correct chronological order. If you wanted to alphabetize those, you could just do a, I thought we could. We can't. No, Excel knows their dates. I thought it was going to say sort A to Z or Z to A here. I think, can we go to more? Yeah, I guess, why would you want months to go alphabetical? You wouldn't. I can't think of any real life example. It seems like I can't even override this. Isn't that fascinating? This is super interesting to me. It doesn't let you do the month. It doesn't make them alphabetical. Did it not change? No, it ignored that. Okay, that's so interesting. I was going to say, just click here and do sort A to Z if you want to change it, but that doesn't work. Okay, here's the technique I really want to show you though, Chelsea and other people watching this video, is you have to click in just the right spot. Do you see my cursor, how it's the, I always call it the compass rose. I don't know the name of this picture here. It's the little plus sign with the arrows pointing in all 4 different directions. It reminds me of a map with a compass rose to me. You have to hover over, click one of your values and you hover over the corner of it so that you get that little compass rose plus sign arrow thing. And then you can manually drag these. You see the green brackets, and you can plop them in some weird order, a nonsense order in this case. You could, if you were super patient, you could alphabetize these. Or maybe, I don't know, what would Chelsea's project be? I imagine she just wants them in date order, but maybe you want them in some, I don't know, maybe there's some weird scenario where you want some custom order. You can resort them like this. Okay, let's see what Excel does though without these. Let's see. So that was the original date. If I take the month number, it's smart. It just does them 1 through 12. You can also manually resort these if you want to. If you take the month abbreviations, Excel is smart and it doesn't alphabetize them. It puts them in the correct order. You can also manually resort those. Same thing, I assume, yeah, with the full months. They're not alphabetized. They're in the correct chronological order. So you shouldn't have any problems sorting anything with dates or months correctly, chronologically. If you want to override that with the little brackety compass rose, you have to click in just the right spot, like right there, you can. This is where you would almost certainly want to reorder the categories in your pivot table. So let's go and insert a pivot table and let's sum these up. Let's look at the number of people, the count of people who responded to these fictional survey questions. Okay, so by default, Excel, it doesn't know that this is a diverging scale. It just alphabetizes them, which wouldn't make any sense. Like if you graphed these, because look, you'd have a graph going in like the wrong order. This is not the correct order here. So this is where you'd want to resort them. And let's do it like this. Strongly agree. Where's my little compass rose? Here you are. There you are. Is that better? Yeah, great. And then as you probably know from other blog posts that I've written or just your own personal experience, whatever you put at the top of your table somersaults to the bottom of your chart. It kind of does this like flip-floppy cartwheel thing, woo, down there. So you can either sort your table upside down, or, like if you wanted strongly agree at the top of your chart, you just put it bloop down there with a little compass rose bracket, or you can click on these categories in the chart, right click, go to the option on the bottom of the list, Format Axis, and then click on Categories in reverse order that way, so that whatever's on the top of the table is the top of the chart. All right, I hope that helps. I think the moral of the story here is that you can use the compass rose brackety thing to have full control over what your pivot table categories look like, which then very directly affects what your chart looks like.